What's he do?
He just blows raspberries, man. Like you try and feed him, and you're
How
like,
does he
"Come
do
on,
it?
Albie, open up." And he opens, he put his food in his mouth, and he looks at you and goes, and just goes over your face. Bless him.
Perfect. That was on live too. Love it.
Amazing. Well, if we're live, that being said, hello and welcome to DZR Gaming's Meet the Streamer. It's a show where we interview and introduce you to content creators, streamers, YouTubers, bloggers, and we find out what makes them tick, as well as discuss news that affects content creators. Makes sense? So hello and welcome. I am Orenji Sage, and it is my supreme pleasure to introduce co-host of Meet the Streamer, Mr. Binary Numb. How's it going, Binary?
I am good, Sage. I am good. I'm in the lounge today because my wife has kicked me out of the man cave. And do you know what? I actually quite like doing it on the couch. This is going to happen more often. I'm going to kick her out of the lounge, I think.
There you
comfy.
That won't go down well.
No, I probably wouldn't.
We'll see if you can bend the rules to make that happen. And I'm also very excited to introduce our guest for episode 7 of Meet the Streamer, who was on the second episode of the show. Well, that was around 8 weeks ago. One of DZR Gaming Community's very own P3T3 TT. How's it going, sir?
Good evening, buddy. Yeah, it's not bad, man. Not bad. Well, you boys are doing well tonight. Thanks for being back, man. Like I say, 8 weeks, it really seems like a hell of a lot longer than that when DZR was set up and everything came about for what DZR's become. It's gone so far, so quick, man. And it's amazing to be a part of it and go with you guys. I just can't believe how quick it's gone, man.
Yeah, we're thrilled to have you here, and we're gonna actually get into right now just about how quick some of this has gone for you. So, before we get into some of the news we're going to talk about a little later, we wanted to catch up with you. So, last time you were on the show with Binary, again around 8 weeks ago, and since then you've been busy, man. Last I checked, you had around 22,067 subscribers on YouTube, 1,230 on Twitter. Is that correct?
Yeah, man, it's gone insanely quick, and I think a lot of that is to do with everything I'm doing or did do with DZR.
Pete,
What?
you're playing with something on your desk.
Huh?
You're playing with something on your desk. I'm getting feedback on my mic.
Sorry. No, it's over
Fucking
there.
child.
Windows open, man. Windows open. It's hot in here. It's gone pretty well, actually. Like you say, I think it's everything we've done with DZR. We hit over 2,000 subscribers. I mean, I'm of no illusion that it's all from the division. And obviously everything I did with you guys on the streams and stuff like that. It shot YouTube over 2,000 subscribers. It shot Twitter over 1,000 subscribers. It put Twitch over 250 followers. It's just insane how quick things go. Obviously, I'm not going to hide the fact that I've come off the division for a little while, and you guys that are subscribed and follow me on Twitter and Twitch and everything, you're going to know that. You're going to know I've got back to Destiny. I'm not the only one. But yeah, hopefully it's not permanent. Obviously 1.4 around the corner, and the Elite Task Force that I'm not on, but we won't go down that road in this video. The Elite Task Force are over there in Sweden, and from what I see on Twitter, man, they're doing a pretty damn good job. They're having fun. Hopefully that's going to turn things around, and we can go even further, after 1.4 and over the rest of the year. It'd be nice to see where I'm at Christmas. Yeah.
Every picture I see of that Elite Task Force, all I see is Marco Styles eating out a bowl of food.
Yeah, all I see on all them pictures is not me. Not that I'm salty about it at all, of course. But yeah, it's one of them things, man. They've got a good team of people that have gone over there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they do.
I just
there's been some great pictures and great little snippets of information that they've been sharing. It's been really nice to see. But you've been putting out a lot of content, and I know there's there's going to be a little bit to put you on the spot here, but you mentioned kind of briefly some of the things that have been going on. You've got a few different types of videos that you've been
Porn
posting. You want to
videos.
tell us about some of that content that you've been putting up, some of the big things that you've been doing?
Me? Yeah. Sorry. Destiny at the moment is like the main thing. I'm trying to get back. I'm a day one Destiny player, and I've got like 40 odd days in game. It literally didn't leave my Xbox for all the way through the first year of Destiny. Dark Below, House of Wolves, Taken King. That's when it came out. My Xbox around Taken King coming out. We got however many months into it, and I just got bored very quickly. So for me, it came out the Xbox for a little while, and I started playing other things, Division and stuff like that. Since then, since the Division's obviously gone downhill a little bit, I went back to it. I was like, look, I'm going to go back and play some Destiny. We had the April update that I hadn't touched, so I was like, look, I'm going to go back and find out what the crack is with that. I think I'd played about 2 or 3 days worth of Destiny, and then realised actually it was 2 or 3 days and I hadn't played anything else, and I was enjoying myself so much. So it was like year one again. I came home, I got home from work, I showered, I had dinner, I turned the Xbox on, I was on Destiny, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I was like, with Rise of Iron coming out in September, I wanna get back to Destiny. Anyone that's watching this that's been on my channel long enough, I actually started off doing YouTube with Destiny, and that was always my aim. To cover Destiny as a big thing. It never really happened because I was, all early days of YouTube, and I didn't know how to do videos and stuff like that. But now I think we're in a better place. I know a lot of the guys that subscribe to me for the Division from DZR especially also play Destiny. So it's nice to obviously have them there and play with them guys as well. And obviously for those of you who don't know, now I get to play on both consoles. I'm on PlayStation
Congratulations.
again as well now. That happened thanks to, I think, enough pestering from you guys. Like, dude, come on. You had a PlayStation, you got rid of it. Go get another one and come and play with us. So that's what I did. I picked it up. I haven't got the Division yet on PlayStation. I've got Destiny. I've got Uncharted. Division is sitting there on my list. Depending on how 1.4 goes, if it's good enough to take me back to the Division on Xbox, then it'll take me. I'll get it on PlayStation and play with everyone on there. But at the minute, I've sunk. I got the Sleeper Agent edition, so I've sunk enough money into a game at the moment that I'm not playing. I'm not going to go and buy it again to not play it. So yeah, we'll see how 1.4 goes. Hopefully, it does well enough to bring me back to the game. It'd be pretty sad to see it die. It has so much potential, but there is still a little part of me that thinks it might be too little, too late. We'll have to wait and see. I'm trying to stay positive.
Fingers crossed.
For it. I'm trying to
Fingers
stay positive for it. Yeah.
I hear you. One thing that I've really enjoyed about following you on Twitter is the sheer amount of interaction that you're getting from your followers and other content creators. Like you drive that culture with the people that are following you and other content creators. Your voice pulls some weight. It's really cool to see the influx of folks that you got coming in. It's really amazing to see. Are there any interactions that you had, either from followers or all the way up to game developers that made you go, wow, like in a positive way? Because you've got a lot of stuff going on. So, is there anything that kind of stands out, or like this was a really, wow, I'm making it. It feels good. I'm making it.
Every day, man, every day something happens that makes me think, yeah, wow. Today, I come home and I'm having a conversation with Willis Gaming and Smile Before Death, and I'm going to be hitting up some PlayStation with them guys this week. Hopefully do some Crucible. Little things. Every day something happens, like you say. Getting tweets from Hamish, having chats with him, Magnus, one of the other Ubisoft community managers, actually having conversations with them. When you see, and it's not just the gaming side of it as well. What's really nice is, as you guys know, Albie actually turned 7 months today, so my Twitter feed gets full up of a lot of pictures of my son growing up, and it's really cool that actually when you look at it and you see, oh, Hamish or Magnus or Rex or someone liked this picture or did that, actually it's nothing to do with gaming, it's the personal side of life that they're actually kind of getting in touch with and liking and stuff like that. That's really cool. That goes, yeah, hang on a minute, these guys are obviously talking to me, they're communicating with me, and they're liking things that I'm doing. I don't know what they like. I ask myself that every day, but yeah, no, it's nice to see that finally, and to say I'm pretty small as well, 2,000 subscribers is like a pea in the ocean. To some of the guys that I am, like you say, talking with and dealing with, it's nice that I'm there, and it just keeps me going, doing what I'm doing, and it makes me think, well, hang on a minute, if this is where I'm at now, where am I going to be this time next year?
And you know what? I've watched I've watched almost every single one of your videos, and you always have positive comments, and people who follow, subscribe to you, genuinely look forward to hearing and watching your next video. And I've had the privilege of being on one of your videos, and I had nothing
Two.
but good feedback
Two.
from two
To
videos.
you in one of the first DCL ones as well.
And you know what? You do have, in terms, the big scale of things, yeah, you have 2,000 followers, and that's growing, right? I've seen that number grow. And everybody that watches, you have a really tight following, and, that will only ever keep compounding on itself. And it's just, it's a privilege to, to know you in the first place. I just want to get that out, yeah. You offer some really good content across both games. So well up to you, man. Great work.
Try and get in there.
Well, and Binary brings up a good point too. It's a great segue. We have several gamers in the DZR community that are starting to stream themselves, and a lot of the DZR folks, they follow you on Twitter, and you matter, man. Like you're the dude people want to talk to. So. As one of DZR's veteran content creators, and you're blowing up and things are getting bigger for you, are there any words of wisdom you can share for some of the gamers that are just starting to stream or starting to get into it, and maybe they're, they need that little, what's the secret?
Do it.
Do you have a secret?
If you like sleep and you have family and you want to keep a happy family life, don't do it. I'm honest. If nothing, even if people don't like to hear what I've got to say, I'll always be honest about something. It's a commitment and a half. As you guys know, and you see on Twitter, I'm normally up by like 3 o'clock in the morning with my son, and like 7 o'clock I go to work, and I'm not home till 5 or 6 o'clock, and then it's dinner time, and then it's literally game. Midnight, I'm off. I finish videos, I finish doing things, I go to bed, and George and Num will tell you, man, literally the amount of how many messages have you had 10 minutes after we've got off Xbox? And I said, look, man, I've got to get off. Albie's going to be awake any time now, and no more as my head hit the pillow is he awake again. It's tiring. It is tiring. It's a commitment. If you want to do it, guys, do it. Really look at the stuff you're doing beforehand. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I made starting YouTube was I started unprepared. I wish I could go back and kind of start all over again, knowing everything I know now. But yeah, majorly, guys, if you want to go in and do this, accept the fact that it's fun. You've got to enjoy it. And that's why I stopped the division, as I said in the video. If you're not enjoying something, don't do it. Because it comes across, and there's no point trying to stream a game or make videos on a game that you're not enjoying, because it comes across to people, and people don't want to watch a downhearted version of something. I'm not saying, like, if you're playing a game and there's something that's crap and you don't like it, don't put a video up and rage about it or whatever. But if you're not enjoying a game, don't play it, don't stream it, don't do videos on it. If you are enjoying it, make that a focal point. Be interactive, like you say. Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is you're using, Instagram. It's called social media. So take the time to actually be social with people that do things. The first thing Laura tells you when I come home from work, the first thing I do, Discord, I know. I don't use Discord anywhere near as much as I do, but that's what I mean. When I come home from work, the first thing I do is I turn my computer on, I sit there, I respond to every comment I get on YouTube, I go through Twitter, I reply to everyone that's asked me something or spoken to me on Twitter, by which time it's time for dinner. And then I come back and I game a little bit and I do some recording, I make some videos, and then it's like, bam, it's midnight and we're into the next day, and I have 2 hours sleep before I get up and start all over again. But guys, if you want to do it, I'm here. I know, Sage is here, Num's here, Elvin's about, there's plenty of people here. If you want to start doing it, get in the Discord, come and talk to us. We're all here to help you. Any helping hands that we can give you, it's there. Use it. Use the service, man.
you're quite right too. Is that it's actually a bit of a thankless job. You have to do it because you actually do thoroughly enjoy it, and it's something that you love doing. Like, we interviewed a guy, and he started it because he just wanted to earn some money. And very, very quickly, he found out that that is not an easy task to do.
No, is it hell? No. Is it hell?
And and I think you have to start off. You have to find a game that you enjoy, and it then has to be a natural progression, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
Right, it's a natural progression moving into and finding what flow you are. You have this, a great flow in your videos. I personally, when I watch one of your videos, I feel like I'm watching like a Top Gear car review. Right, I find it
it's
that
funny
engaging.
it's funny you
pace,
choose that, because that is like
right?
all me and Laura watch on telly in the background all the
good.
time. It's
Right.
Clarkson.
Yeah. So you have that rhythm, right, and you have that pace, which is good. But that only comes from your enjoyment, right?
Yeah.
That only because I've played with you when you're tired, man, right? And the pace drops, right? But all your videos are always on point, and you deliver that content. And I think it's the same for a lot of people that we've interviewed. Is that they've not done it through any other purpose than what they've pure enjoyment.
Exactly.
Engaging,
You've got to
teaching.
enjoy it. Again, talk on the point of being honesty. Like you say, my channel's grown a hell of a lot, and I can safely say that I've started earning money off YouTube. If I'm to look at the fact that I'm at just over 2,000 subscribers and 430,000 views, which is an insane amount to say where I was at before the Division came out. It's just insane. I earn about $6 a month, guys, from YouTube. 450,000 views so far has made me about $60. 400,000 views. That's taken me the better part of the last 12 months. So, get that out of your head. Get it out of your head that if you want to come and do it, that you think you're going to make it off rich, and do YouTube for money. I mean, everything that you earn is nice. That support from you guys is what's got me here. It's what's got me another PlayStation. It's what's got me a new mic, a new headset. That's awesome. But don't think that you're going to be able to go and give up work, a month into doing YouTube or anything. Get that out of your head and do it because you enjoy it. If you want to do it, don't do it. If you make it there one day, if I make it there okay, I've got it in the back of my head one day. I'd love to be this big YouTuber. I would love to say, honey, I'm off to work, and turn my console on and turn my computer on and sit in this chair, and I'm at work. That would be... That would be insane. And anyone that turns around to you and says, I'm getting into YouTube, I'm getting into streaming, no, man, I never want to be famous, I never want to be a big YouTuber, I never want to be a big streamer, are full on lying, man. Yes, you do it to enjoy it, but ultimately you've got to have a goal in the back of your head in anything you do in life, haven't you? If you don't see where you're going to be, you don't get better, you don't improve, because you have no aims or goals. 100,000 subscribers has always been in the back of my head at one point. The same on Twitch as well. If I ever get there one day, it'd be insane, but I know realistically it's probably never going to happen. But it's nice to have that aim and have that goal, and slowly I can start working towards it,
Well, as soon as you think it's not going to happen is right when you get featured on a news outlet or some really big show, and then you blow up.
Exactly.
But it's interesting though, right? You've only got to have, one or two videos at the right time to get, a million views, right? I've seen some videos that are absolutely dog crap, and it's purely because they've had the right title and they've had at the right time that they've released it. There was one video of this Division actually that it said 800k DPS in the title. That was it, the Division, and it had almost 1.5 million views, and it was about 2 minutes long of a guy talking about a sentry build, and that was it. There was no content in there. There was nothing about actually how he got that, or anything about min-maxing or what was even in the build. It was just the fact that he had 4 sentry pieces. It was a joke. But
I love videos like that, man. I think I know the one you're talking about, actually. And one of them I put a comment on, and he was like, yeah, look at me, man. I've hit, I think it was like 800 or 750, whatever it was on one of these videos. And I quickly noticed the fact that he was on the shooting range with a full striker set and a full striker active in the bottom. It was like, dude, anyone can do that with the strikers build. But you're right, man. You're fully right. It gets crazy views.
And it's it in the YouTube space. Whoa, I don't know what you did, Sage, but did you turn your mic sensitivity up?
No, is it really loud now?
Yeah. No. Oh, just calm down.
Has it? Is it okay now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That was weird.
Sorry about that.
And this is why we're not featured on the BBC, guys. Or CNN if you're in America.
But YouTube's a funny thing, right? It really does only take, the right title with the right tags and at the right time, right? For a video to blow up, to put your channel in the right space. So
yes,
I suppose
no.
my question to you, Pete, right, is so for Rise of Iron, for example, right, your goal, I'm going to guess, for Rise of Iron is to deliver content as quick as possible.
Yeah.
To help your channel grow.
I've got I've got to if I want that my head going into Rise of Iron is if I want to make a go of this properly, and I never thought that I could make a proper go of YouTube, but your community, DZR, everything the way I've gone in the last few months has actually shown me that it is possible if you put the work and the effort in, and that's what I want to do. Then I've got to be constant with content, not taking these big week-long gaps. I've got to be constant with it, and I've got to be quick with it. There's no point putting up a video on something that happened 3 weeks ago that every big YouTuber's covered, because it just ain't ever going to get a view. Why waste my time on a 2 or 3 hour video, editing, recording, editing, everything else, when I know deep down it's never going to get watched because it was put up by a Rex more console by 3 weeks ago. It's never going to get watched by mine. So knowing where to make videos quickly and where not to, as well, is also a big thing.
That's awesome. So with that said, you were just saying about nailing down a schedule. Do you have a tentative schedule yet
No.
for content or anything like that?
No, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to either. Being self-employed. One night I can be home at 4 o'clock. One night I might not be home till 10 o'clock. There's been nights, as George will tell you, I've been sitting here, I've just logged on, guys, I'm home from work, let's get this raid done, and my phone goes off and I'm back out to work, man. So that cancels streams, videos, and all sorts. I've got a 7-month-old son that's teething, crawling, and everything else now. If he wakes up, I can't do things. So, my schedule fits around my life, and so does YouTube. I'm never going to make my life fit around it. It will always fit around my life, and that probably means for a long time I'm never going to have a definite schedule, at least until we move. Obviously, we're looking at buying a house now rather than renting, so that'll change things up. I'll actually have a gaming room. I won't be set up in the living room. We're looking at 3-bed house so that I can have a gaming room, and then I can get a schedule together, man. Eventually.
That's awesome.
But you're still, your content is still there, right?
Oh, yeah.
You are still delivering content, which is the important thing. But I think you've grown your content steadily, but that's not through having videos, that hit 1 million views or anything like that. It is through punctual, prominent content.
Yeah, relevant
Delivered
content
timely,
when it's needed.
Right. Exactly. Which is half the battle, I think.
Yeah.
Being able to actually do that.
If we're talking about battles, I want to go back and touch on something, because I know you get a lot of views on these videos, and it's something that I've wanted to talk about so many times before. And you said earlier it's about titles and things like that, and getting the views in. Well, it's also a little bit to do with what and who you are as well. I remember before the Taken King came out on Destiny, I actually had a friend, one of the first people that found the glitch into where the Sleeper Simulant came from, and the quest line and missions that we would get it from. We went in and recorded that glitch, and I put it up on YouTube. I made the video and everything else, and within the first night, I came down the very next morning to a message on my phone that says your video has 10,000 views. And I was like, wow, I dove on my computer. I was like, 10,000, no, this is insane. This is not true. 10,000 views overnight. A video's gone viral. Imagine how many subscribers I'm going to have made. I log on, 0 subscribers were made, 10,000 views, and it was like 3,000 or 4,000 dislikes on this video. And people in the comment section, man, this is bullshit. Man, this is nothing to do with it. Open your eyes, man. You're chatting shit. You're clickbaiting videos and everything. Nobody wanted to know this YouTuber that had like 25 subscribers had found the sleeper simulant before it came out. I thought, right, I know what it is. I follow Bife, I follow Rex and everything like that. I watch their lure videos. This is Rasputin's bunker. This is that. I'm right. And I told Smile Before Death and a couple of other people, and they put videos up about it, and that was cool. I was like, okay, people aren't going to take notice of me. I just wanted to prove a point to myself, I think, more than anything. And guess what? These guys put these videos up, and they had millions of views. And guess what? Everyone agreed with them. Wow, look at what you found. Look. And you know what? Actually, that proved a point to me that half of the battle with YouTube is who you are. And who you know, not what you do. You could deliver a bang-on video, but people aren't going to believe the word of you over someone else, and that's the way it is, man. That's the real factor, right? Of the way it is.
It also goes back to credibility, right?
Yeah.
People sharing, as people. Bloggers have, networking events that they go to. YouTube has networking events that you go to.
But you don't get to these events unless you're a big YouTuber in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. But to get there is, through networking, right? Social media, getting people to share. And as part of a community, we should clamber together. And, every time we release a video, everyone in the community should try and share it. At least once, right? Just make it, your contribution to the community is, just to share everybody's content so that, people can see it. Even if people don't watch it, right? At least you're trying to make a part. And I think that's probably the more powerful part of that.
Exactly, man. That's what I do with all your tweets. I just retweet. I don't read them. I just retweet them to people.
Well, and that's honestly, it's a great subject to kind of get into our main news. So we'll turn our attention to the topic that was brought up on last week's episode by Weezer, and that has some content creators nervous about their future with YouTube.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I thought you were going to talk about interactive dildos.
I know where you're going with this. I know exactly what you're going to ask.
So. This frustration even started the trend on Twitter, hashtag YouTube party is over. Yeah. And of course, we're talking about YouTube's ad monetization policy, specifically updates inside the advertiser-friendly content guidelines. What's advertiser-friendly? According to YouTube, and I'll read this very brief synopsis. Quote, advertiser-friendly content is content that's appropriate for all audiences and has little to no inappropriate or mature content in the video stream, thumbnail, or metadata such as in the video title. If the video does contain inappropriate content, the context is usually newsworthy or comedic, and the creator's intent is to inform or entertain, not offend or shock, unquote. So that paints a very friendly line on one side of it. But it also begs the question, what is considered non-advertiser friendly? And here again, from YouTube's own policy, are the 5 succinct bullet points that answer that question. The first one, sexually suggestive content, including partial nudity and sexual humor. 2, violence, including display of serious injury and events related to violent extremism. 3, inappropriate language, including harassment, profanity, and vulgar language. 4, promotion of drugs and regulated substances, including selling, use, and abuse of such items. And finally, controversial or sensitive subjects and events, including subjects related to war, political conflicts, natural disasters, and tragedies, even if graphic imagery is not shown. So some lines are drawn in the sand here, but there could be some...
fuck that shit and put some titties in my face.
There could be some gray area in there as well, and all three of us, we're content creators here, and I'm sure you guys have already had the opportunity to read over these changes and try to grasp how this, if at all, will affect how you create content. So Pete, I'm going to go back to you. What are your first impressions on these guidelines? Where does it hit you?
Are you absolutely sure you want me to go down this route?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
For my own personal opinion, because I've already done a video on this that I just haven't uploaded yet. Guys, I'm going to give you my own disclaimer before I start swearing, raging and going off on this. Okay, if you're young listening to this, don't like foul language or anything like that, just turn off now, because you might not like the next 5 minutes. I think, guys, it's pretty much a fucking joke, in my opinion. I can understand why, to some extent, they're doing some of the things they are doing, and we'll go through them if you want to, one at a time. I think I'm going to hit up the last one that you talked about. What was it? Major events and natural disasters, and the biggest one being war. Okay, I'm a fucking ex-soldier for 10 years. I wanna see shit put out that isn't on the fucking news. Okay, because the news waters shit down and it shows people what the fuck they want you to see. They don't want people seeing what really goes on. And when videos hit YouTube that show the real shit when it hits the fan and what really goes on, I think that personally is a fucking invaluable resource to everyone else in the world. It opens people's eyes to the shit that actually goes on in the world, not the watered down bullshit that you get given to you by the BBC or CNN or whoever the fuck it is reporting about it. In my opinion, there's only a few people that actually go out and get their hands dirty to report to people the real events, and a lot of that ends up on YouTube. So yeah, to that one I can understand some extent. You know, we don't want to be watching ISIS cut a soldier's head off. We don't want to see executions of people in the Middle East, because they've been on YouTube. You know, you've seen Gaddafi blown apart a couple of years ago. That was on YouTube, millions hits. That shit shouldn't be there. I fully understand that. But when you've got Help for Heroes montages that I know have gone about and been demonetized because of YouTube's new changes, man, fuck you, YouTube. Seriously, fuck you. Massive. Just, I hate the thought that you even think it is acceptable to say that these things can't be monetized. If we look at William DeFranco, who's been hit really hard, he has a news channel. That's his fucking job. You're telling him he can't do his job. Now, you can put ads in front of a news show. We can watch the news on our TV and there's an ad before it, and that's okay. You can't do it on YouTube. I mean, bottom line on all of this, YouTube own, or Google own YouTube, right? They own it. They can do what the fuck they want with it. If we don't like it, we don't do YouTube. Simple as. It's entirely up to them. But I think it is completely insane the way they are changing things. Sexually suggestive content. Okay, I don't want to.
That's every Call of Duty video.
Every Call of Duty video that has a female in it with her tits hanging out. I understand that point of view. You don't want to sit here, or I say you don't want to lose the term loosely, guys, because my wife's sitting behind me. You don't want to turn a video on and watch some, hot bird playing Call of Duty with her tits hanging out. You don't want to see that. But you can understand why they don't want to put an ad in front of that, and I understand that, right? You don't want to put an ad in front of things like that. You don't want to put an ad in front of someone's head being cut off in the Middle East, right? But then the other side of it, they say things like suicide, depression and shit like that, and they're not monetizing or user-friendly in them. You look at some channels that have been floating around Twitter, and they've done amazing jobs. Okay, these people have saved lives with their YouTube channels. They put up videos on how to prevent suicide. They put up videos on how to beat depression and things like that. I am personally a watcher of these videos, having gone through my own shit in my own life, and I comment on them and I pass knowledge on and helpful things like that, without a doubt. And they're a really big part of a community that, everyone thinks YouTube is this kind of big gaming community, it's this big, celebrity community, but there's a lot of other communities that tune into YouTube to watch different networks and things like that. One of them being, suicide, depression, rape, things like that. And because people have made whole channels out of helping other people, helping other people, and YouTube have just said, do you know what? You guys have done amazing things over the last few years, and we've supported it for years. We've let you monetize your videos. Now all of a sudden we don't want to. Man, that's bullshit. What these guys are doing is something awesome, and now they can't earn money doing it. Now I know that earning money on YouTube isn't a God-forgiven right. for everyone to make a YouTube video and earn money on it. I understand that, but these guys that have got, you know, big communities that are doing really good things and they're getting shit on, and you know, sorry if anyone doesn't like this, but you get fucking channels like Keemstar that get to sit out all day long and be complete dicks that literally I want to drag into the street and fucking shoot myself. Right, I literally want to shoot him in the head. They can carry on uploading their content without any issues. But let's try and help someone and make a video on how not to kill yourself and how keeping yourself alive is a good idea and actually you have lots of things to live for. Yeah, let's not help them. Let's just demonetize their shit. Let's take their shit off the internet. We don't want that on the internet, but we want some fucking dickhead cunt of a person that is Keemstar. We'll let that twat run loose on the internet all night fucking long. Okay? We will let him shit on everybody and be abusive to everybody. That's okay. He can do that, but we can't help people. You know, it's one of them things. It has affected everybody in so many different ways. And like I say, I think the biggest issue is that actually, if you watch any of the videos from like William DeFranco or Boogie, people like that have really gone in detail with this, they will all say that this, and I've watched all of them because I've wanted to know, like you say, personally how I would be affected by it. And apparently all these things have been there for years. You know, this policy has been there for years. It hasn't really changed. What has changed is the way they enforce it.
Binary.
And the kind of spread, you know, the net that it curses out of. Before it would just like, it had a very small net. Now they've widened it and everything else. So, yeah, man, I really don't know personally where to stand on it. I think I see both sides. I can see both sides of it. Personally, I thought YouTube was a place that you could come and be you, however you wanted to be. You know, it didn't matter. There's always a community out there. I think that there are still a lot of videos that are being demonetized for different things. I think actually they could be monetized, and actually YouTube's way of still supporting things would be to age restrict them. And things like that. And you know, if you watch a video, I get it. When I watch a video, this video has mature content in it. Okay, I want to click on that, then I'm going to see the views and everything. I still want to support that creator. I don't know, man. I think YouTube have lost the plot the way they're doing it. I really do.
Well, Binary, you're no stranger to content creation yourself. So, you know, what's your take on this?
You know, I'm in business as well, so it's very interesting, and I think the real question is, you know, YouTube has become in the last 10 years as a massive media outlet for anybody, and you know, Pete, you are so right. YouTube is a place where people go for help with themselves, self-betterment. They come for news, they come for education, they come for, you know, anything. YouTube is if you want to learn something, the place where you go is YouTube. You know, people are learning trades, crafts, life skills from people who are spending the time and putting content up on YouTube. And the real question, excuse me. So the real question in my mind is, what is YouTube, and what is its position in the market? Because it's privately owned. It's not a newspaper. It doesn't have the same principles
Guidelines?
as a journal. It's not a journalism platform. It's a broadcasted network. And I suppose what position is Google? What pressures have Google been under for them to decide to enforce policies that have always been there, to stop monetizing, certain videos, and that their policy is pretty broad, right? And it does, in some countries you could say it impeaches on free speech and the right, to earn a living on free speech.
Free speech.
Right? But it's not censoring right? YouTube aren't censoring what the video content is. It's censoring what the right to earn money
They've chosen
from
their
your
verbiage
content.
well with guidelines.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Yeah,
have.
yeah. And then the question also, they're not stopping the content. Sorry, they're not censoring the content, but they are dictating how as an advertiser you earn money from it.
Yeah.
But then a lot of those videos, like war and there are videos out there that shouldn't have the opportunity to be monetizable, right? You shouldn't, watching war and watching whether it's um, you know terror videos or death videos or anything like that, they shouldn't be able to earn money from charities who earn who touch on some real subjects that help people in a dire need. They're a charity. You're watching that video. Why shouldn't they earn money from those videos? Right? Money goes into production of those videos. They're brought, they've just blanket policied, millions of content creators by enforcing that, which is it's just a bizarre move. There's no intelligence around how they're censoring that monetization. All our YouTube videos, we don't do the YouTube videos for money. It's purely to, share content and have a discussion and be out there. So it's interesting.
But then, finally, can I jump before you go on, man? I want to jump into. You said that YouTube's a business, right? Well, just tell me where the business sense is. Then is that if we as a content creator are earning money, okay, from ads in front of our videos, we only get X amount of the money. The content creator only gets X amount of the percentage of money paid to YouTube for putting an ad in front of that person's video. YouTube get the rest. Where's the business sense, man? They're cutting money out of their own pocket. If you can't monetize videos because they're not user friendly by YouTube's own policy, they're cutting money out of their own pocket as well. This goes further, in my opinion, than the business side of money and things like that. Something else has happened behind closed doors that have made YouTube do this. Okay, because from a business, it doesn't make a business sense to let's stop paying content creators. I don't know, right? Let's use a round figure, £1. We pay this content creator £1 for that ad. We pay them 50p. The content creator gets 50p. We keep 50p. They're throwing money out of their pocket. That's not a business sense. Something else has happened for this change to come around.
It could be coming from the advertisers, right? An advertiser for Durex or Dulex toilet paper, where it's got a golden retriever running around the house with a toilet roll, and that advert is in front of a war video, or that advert is in front of a self-help video. It could be the advertiser saying, "I don't want my advert associated with that video."
Exactly.
And that's where the intelligence around what content adverts are assigned to. And it's built around big data, right? Google is a big data factory. That's what they do, right? They mine everything from your smartphone movement. They know that I went into Costa the other day to have a coffee, and they wanted a review on it, right? They know this. So the frustrating point for me is why are they not using that intelligence, right? They know whether you swore. Now they know whether you've sworn in your video, right? So they have the algorithms, and they have the intelligence to categorize what type of video you are. So why not just automatically apply that advertising to those mechanisms?
Yeah, have different bands have A, B, C, D, Asia user friendly family bullshit that they want you to put on now, and then you've got tier B where balls, I said testicle, or I said bollocks, put them in band B. I am pretty sure that any or the majority of advertisers out there really don't give a shit because it puts money in their pocket. Yes, a point of view, someone's head getting chopped off in the middle of a war zone, you're not going to want to monetize, okay? That's common sense. Some celebrity sitting there shoving cocaine up their nose, or, doing lines off of a hooker's arse cheek, they're not going to want to monetize that, right, at all. But gaming videos where a content creator's playing a game and gone, bullshit, man, you just sniped me from across the map with that impossible quickscope that I'm not going to believe you made without being a hacking, cheating bastard, man, because you're just better than me and I don't want to admit it, so I'm going to call you a cheating bastard. You know, damn, I now can't monetize my video. That video is going to get 1 million views because someone's put that video online and they're a big YouTuber. Are you really telling me that because they've said fuck or bollocks, let's take a look at More Console, 600,000 subscribers, ends his videos with, and thank you very much for watching, you beautiful bastards. Are you honestly telling me that a revenue person is sitting in their head office going, oh dear, no, we're putting ads in front of this video and he said you beautiful bastards. He has 625,000 subscribers. He is going to get 500,000 views. He's just made us £5,000 and he said beautiful bastards, I don't want to make that £5,000 because of that bollocks. There's something more behind it than that.
You know, there's a lot of heated debate right now that's still going on between millions and millions of YouTube content creators are having these same conversations and asking these same questions, but it didn't stop there for some of the other folks. There were some other issues. Okay, so we can set that aside for a second, but other YouTubers can't get over the videos being demonetized without YouTube notifying the content creator unless they were digging into their analytics on a regular basis. There wasn't a notification or they didn't receive anything.
No, they didn't know about it. They were having videos demonetized for 2 years with millions of views and they weren't being told about it. I mean, I don't know law or legal things, but surely there's something there that is... You know, if I was to upload a video of my next door neighbour having sex in the garden, I would get in major trouble if I didn't have their permission for doing it, and I was making money on it. They could sue the hell out of me. Surely there is some kind of standpoint that says, you know, they've not notified me that I have uploaded this video, I've been monetizing it, they've stopped me earning money from that, and they're not going to tell me. You know, if there's Data Protection Act, copyright law, surely there's something there that says they have to, by law, note or something that they have to notify you about these changes. Yeah. Banks have to notify you about changes. The TV places, phone companies, they all legally have to notify you of changes.
And in fairness to...
They're charging you for.
Yeah, exactly.
Surely there's got to be something there for YouTube as well.
And I think everybody else... I think everybody else agrees with that. YouTube came out, was it February 2005? They haven't been a stranger in dealing with these types of issues, if not pioneered some of these issues because the platform was truly unique to begin with. But there are quite a few people that feel like this is the straw that's breaking the camel's back here. It's too little, it's too late, and they're threatening to leave. There's a lot of posts on YouTube that are like that. I'll open it up to both of you. What do you guys think the long-term effects are going to be on the relationship between YouTube and content creators now that this broken trust, if you will, around the communication piece? The communication wasn't there. They didn't warn people that they were going to be enacting this. It just kind of happened. Everybody feels blindsided. Do you think that they'll overcome this? What do you think the future is going to hold? How are things going to change now?
You want to go for this first, George?
Yeah. Do you know what? It's the beautiful thing in the internet, and it's a fickle thing too. You know, there are plenty of other services, right? You have Vimeo. What else do you have? You've got Dailymotion. These are a few others that offer the exact same thing that YouTube does. Exactly the same thing. You can monetize your videos on there, and they have their own policies. But the difference is they don't have the viewer base. And I think that's probably that's where the real frustration is you know, Google, you know, it's one of the biggest it is the biggest video hosting service that is free for people to use, and you can monetize it. You know, these people can take their content to other platforms, but the problem with that is it's going to hurt these content creators' revenue by doing so. So you know, it's a real mucky situation, and I think, you know, I'm a big fan of Google, but do you know what, guys, you fuck, you know, for all the intelligence you have in the world, you fucked it. In my view, you could have done it so much more smarter, and it's a disappointment.
Communication seems to be a big key in here. I think a lot of folks could have gone over the fact, or they could have worked better with it if they had been more clearly communicated to. But Pete, your turn, sir. What do you think?
I think rather similarly to George, we actually talked about this the other night in a raid. We were talking about the same thing. I honestly think now is the time that some of these other services could actually make. You know, YouTube have literally stabbed themselves with a sword, but you know they're only halfway on that sword at the moment. It's time now that somebody else stood up with a service similar to YouTube and just finished driving that sword all the way through them and said, like George said, you know, you fucked it now. We're going to clean up your mess. What needs to happen now is another service needs to come along and pick up on YouTube and Google's fuck up and say, hey guys, like you say, they're short on viewers. They need to get people over to them. Guys, come and join us. Look at our service. We're not going to restrict you in the way that YouTube are trying to do. We're not going to censor you. We're not going to hold you back. We're not going to say you can do this, you can't do this if you want to earn money doing this and doing that. We're going to be supportive of you. We don't have the barriers YouTube do, so come and join us. You know, that's a business head. Kick them while they're down.
So do you feel that? So do you feel that in this case YouTube is signed more arbitrarily with the advertisers in this case, instead of, you know, keeping in mind the content creators who are making them this money? There should have been some more. There should have been some more talk.
They don't give a shit about their content creators, and for all of the talk and things like that from content creators saying, you know, this is YouTube's policy, they can do what they want and things like that. They do care about their content creators because they're still letting you upload it. They're just not letting you monetize it. So, you know, the fact they're still letting you upload it means they're not controlling this and they're not controlling that. But actually, when you look at what they're allowing to happen, they fucked the pooch. You know, they really have messed up. And there's only so many times they can do that before it goes away from them.
That's true. And you actually just kind of touched on it. So, I mean, this is a big lesson learned. And again, to both of you, Binary, is he? There he is.
He'll be back in a minute.
He'll be back in a minute. So, but you just kind of touched on it, and I was going to ask this question: what should YouTube learn from this situation that other companies need to take note of right now? And I think you touched on it again, but for final comments, please.
YouTube needs to learn that actually they don't make YouTube. You don't make your money. Content creators make you your fucking money. Okay? YouTube, without its content creators and without people making their videos, don't make YouTube money. Okay? If YouTube had no content creators, they wouldn't make money. That's simple. And if you keep pissing off your content creators by not paying them for the hard work that they are doing, when they're getting paid for it, then, you know, it's a slippery slope. Content creators start turning away. If you start taking away the likes of PewDiePie, whether you like him or not, he's a big content creator. Whether you start taking away the likes of Ali A, Boogie, DeFranco, any of the really big YouTubers, you start taking them out of the community or out of YouTube, and they go to another service, YouTube starts losing money. You know, that they've got to open their eyes, and as much as they own YouTube, I think YouTube is at a point, or it's on that tipping edge where yes, YouTube may own YouTube, but the content creators run YouTube. Because if every single content creator tomorrow said, do you know what, we're going to take 1 week where every single content creator in the world that uploads to YouTube said, 1 week, no one's making any videos. Let's see how long YouTube keep their policies in place.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's a strong point.
Just drop the mic. And Donkey from the Discord, where do you draw the line on content? And I think that's the very subjects we're kind of exploring now. That it might be if it's going to be case by case for each YouTuber, then they're going to have to put more manpower into reviewing these cases. And I don't think that's as powerful and sustainable as YouTube and Google have been and will more than likely continue to be. I don't know if they're ready or in a position to put them out of manpower. So into it to kind of fix that problem, make it case by case, instead of being so absolute where a lot of people get their content screwed up. So Binary, back to you again. Same question. What should YouTube learn from this situation that other companies need to take note of?
Well, for a communications company, communication is definitely fucking one of them. I think it's been a brash decision to do it. I think the learning curve will only come from consequence, and no one knows what the consequence is yet. Right, right. Everyone's going to be shouting about it. Everyone's going to be. Sorry, I'm like an old man coughing my lungs up. Everyone's going to be. No one knows what the consequence is yet, right? And I think that we're in this period of, anger, right? We're going to go through the seven stages. What is it? The 4 stages of grief, right? We're all angry at the moment, and I think a lot of content creators are angry out there at the moment. I think, give it a week or so, and people will start to think, okay, how am I going to work around this? How am I still going to make money from my YouTube channel? Am I going to deliver my content? Am I going to change how I deliver my content? Am I going to not swear? Am I not going to have sexual innuendos? Am I not going to have, these things that impeach on that? And they will be, the people that solely earn money from it. Am I going to move to another platform like Vimeo, or am I going to move to like Dailymotion? Or am I going to split my content up? I'm going to have episodes that are swearing. I'm going to have episodes that aren't. But I think the stupidity around it is the lack of intelligence within the content. That's for me that's the whole problem with it. Is YouTube knows if you use copyrighted information. YouTube knows if you are swearing in your video. YouTube knows all this stuff because of its analytics, but yet they're blanket policying across everybody.
Yeah.
I think it's that lack of intelligence for me. It's like, we're just not in that place anymore. And YouTube has become this establishment that has provided a service for anybody with a voice and a camera.
It's a household name,
right? It's in every home, and I'd see what happens in the next few weeks.
One thing for you, Binary. Just listening to what you're saying, you're right. You choose to make content or you not make content. You decide, right? Am I going to swear in this video? Am I going to abide by this new guideline and that new guideline? And that's where my issue is. You really can't sit here and make a video and say, I'm going to follow this guideline and that guideline, because we don't know what their grey area is. Their grey area is this. I'm sitting here making a video, and okay, it's not tagged with any bad tags. I know DeFranco and Boogie touched on this personally in their videos. That they'd made videos that their tags were all clean. There was no foul language. Their titles were clean, but something in it kicked off the bots for the monetization, and they couldn't monetize that video. Now, that's gone off for review, and the reviews came back, and they were allowed to remonetize them. But the principle of it is, for a big YouTuber that earns a stupid amount of money, that is fine. If I was to make a video tomorrow that went viral and got me 1 million views overnight. You know, it went viral. Like, you know, like the little Jack Russell that picked up the ball on its nose and down. If I was to make a video like that and it went viral overnight and I got 1 million views on it, but something stopped me monetize that, I would be fucking raging. Because that 1 million views as a small channel and the income that I could have made from that literally could have changed my life. You know, it could have brought me the computer that I need to do things better than what I'm doing. It could have brought me software and hardware that could then make me do things better the way I want to do them. The fact that I don't know if I'm going to upload a video, you know, I've just recorded a video on Destiny's updates. There's no swearing in it. There'll be no tagging it. It's a Destiny update video talking about the new updates and patch notes that we've got today for Destiny. How do I know that something I say in there, like Rift, you know, might be considered a kinky word, or, you know,
Weapons.
I talk about the blunt end of something that's not going to get kicked up the monetization wall. I don't know that. So I think now you just get a
It's the
dice
clarity,
and you
right?
just need to throw a dice and gamble whether you're going to get hit or not. And the other side of it is you see some YouTubers getting hit for something and another YouTuber that does exactly the same thing and they're not getting hit for it. You know, it just doesn't seem to be fair or layered well. You know, it's not that structured where I can go, okay, here's bullet point, you know, I want bullet point 1 to 10. YouTube only seems to have given me bullet point 1, 5 and 10 and said to me, fill in the gaps yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you know.
You know what's great is that there are literally thousands of conversations like this happening, and the YouTube community is used to being vocal about these kinds
And
of
none
things.
of them are going to get
knows.
monetized. None of them are going to get. You think YouTube could have done this incredible thing where if they'd have monetized this video, they'd have made a shit ton of money. And guess what, YouTube? You done fucked it again because you're not going to get paid for any of these videos because nearly every single video I've watched, the YouTuber's gone off in one and said, oh, fuck me, this video won't get monetized. We know it's not going to get monetized. You're not. Guess what? We may not be earning money, but neither are you, YouTube. So,
yeah. So you know, obviously there are some very passionate camps on both sides that this is going to continue to be an issue for weeks to come, and it's going to be interesting to see what the long-term repercussions are, if any occur down the road. If this isn't just like a fly-by-night meme and everybody's going to forget about it. I hope that's not the case. But I think, for better or worse, communicating effectively is a key, maybe not the key, but a key in situations like these. And we can all agree on the desire for better communication around this, so we can figure it out together. You know, and I have to point towards Massive right now. You know, what did they do? They sent a bunch of folks over there. We have a particular squad representing for the game, and you know, that's the kind of involvement I think we would like to see YouTube take with their folks, and not just the big ones. So, not just the big streamers. So, and on another note here, insulting the intelligence of your content creators is a risky gamble by not communicating that, and then saying, well, it was already there. You just didn't pay enough attention. That's hard. I think the communication thing is going to have to definitely pick up for sure. Binary, do you have any closing comments for today's show?
Yeah, fantastic. Pete, you're a man of passion. And, you know, I love working with you. I love even gaming with you. YouTube, Google, just to have a long think about what you're going to do going forward. And just be, as intelligent as you actually are, right? And you have some of the brightest minds in the world. Just think about how you can be a little bit more intelligent around it. You know, I'm not, I'm not against people not, you monetizing, stopping the monetization of videos. I think, there are definitely some videos out there that should not have any capability of earning money. But the ones that are hardworking, they deliver content and a service to people. If they're, plus 18, add an explicit area, right? You have to put your date of birth in before you can watch the fucking video. And advertisers have a choice on whether they can choose to advertise specifically within that space. Just be a bit smarter about it. Peace.
Pete, it was a tremendous pleasure to have you on the show today, brother, man. It was a great show, a lot of great information. Thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us.
Thank you for having me on, man. I love coming and chatting with you guys, you know. Guys, please don't think if you've watched this at my little age that I'm the arrogant British bastard. You know, I'm passionate about what I do, and I know a lot of people. I don't earn my money through YouTube, so I couldn't give a shit what happens, you know. I don't rely on YouTube to live. But there are people out there. I have friends of mine that still do earn their livelihood off of YouTube, and they're going to obviously get fucked over a hell of a lot more than what I am. These things happen. YouTube have the right. The bottom line is YouTube have the right to do whatever the fuck they want because it's their baby. At the end of the day, Google own YouTube. They can do what the hell they want, whether we like it or not, whether we want to sit here and bitch or not all day long about it. They own it. They can do what they damn well want with it. That's it. You know, there's nothing we can say about it. All we can do is hope that they listen to our opinions, and like George said, they're just sensible about how they correct their mistake.
Yeah.
But
Well,
thanks for having me on, man.
it was awesome. Can you let everybody know where they can find you where they want to connect with you?
They can find me in my house. Oh, you mean? No, I know what you mean. Yeah, guys, you can come find me on YouTube, P3T3 TT. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/P3T3 TT. You can find me on PlayStation now, actually. Obviously, my Xbox gamer tag's still the same, but if you're on PlayStation, it's P3T3 _ because you can't have a space, TT _ YouTube. So you can find me under that.
I bet you're regretting having
Awesome.
YouTube in your name now.
I have to post.
Well,
post some
I
links in
was
the,
actually
YouTube
I
video.
was trying to be smart. I thought, hang on a minute, you see YouTubers, big YouTubers when they play Destiny, and their clan tag is YouTube. I thought, I'm gonna go one better. I'm gonna put it in my damn PSN because at least people will know when they're playing me. This guy's a YouTuber. Let's go check him out. It might not work. I might change it. It might not work, but you know, like you say, advertisement. How can I get my name out there? It's in my tag everywhere I go. In the tower, in the reef, in trials, in Crucible. It doesn't matter where I go. If I'm playing PlayStation, everyone's going to know I'm on YouTube. Maybe they'll come and check my channel.
Not making money.
And next time you're on the show, we'll see how that worked out for you.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. Let's see how where we are another 8 weeks from now.
Binary, where can everybody reach you, sir?
Oh, everyone can reach me. Oh, everyone knows. Binary Num everywhere. Even on PSN, I actually created a PSN account, even though I don't have a PlayStation yet.
You will get
So
a
I'm gonna-
PlayStation soon, though.
Gentle pressure.
Yeah, I will. But yeah, you can find me everywhere. Binary Num.
Awesome. Well, of course, you can find me, Orenji Euro Sage, on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube at that handle. If you liked this show, you'll also like the other shows on DZR Gaming. If you play Tom Clancy's The Division, you can check out The Armory. That's the definitive build, gear, and strategy podcast. It's some tremendous stuff going on over there. If you want the latest in gaming news across all platforms, there's DZR Engage. Or if you've got a craving for some casual atmosphere with some laid-back discussion on games, entertainment, and technology, DZR's Jumping Under the Influence. That's probably where you want to go. And of course, there's the infamous Checkpoint and Chill with Gaz and Elvin and Binary and Wigan.
I'm Wigan.
Yeah, everybody's there. You can find DZR Gaming on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, Dark Zone Report, as well as darkzonereport.com. And there you can find the links to all our podcasts on iTunes. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in to Meet the Streamer podcast. This was episode 7 today. And a heartfelt thank you to special guest Pete and my
Now,
co-host Binary Num. Always a pleasure, gentlemen.
George, can
Absolutely.
can I be the person that gives out next week's video? Because I know what's coming. Can I be the person that announces your guests for next week?
Yes, you can.
Guys, make sure to come and tune in next week because DZR have got a Rex on the show and I'm really hyped to actually be muted in chat and be listening into that bad boy. It's going to be insane. So you want to know what's going on for Destiny, The Division, Monster Hunter, as you guys know, Alex is a massive Monster Hunter fan as well. Come and tune in next week. Shit's going to be off the chain. I'm looking forward to it. Crazily. Yeah, a Rex is here on DZR, man.
You can't get a better recommendation than that, folks. Make sure to tune in. This has been DZR Gaming's Meet the Streamer, and we will see you next week.
Bye.